host, Danny Coleman, and I am joined in studio tonight by Mark, the engineer from YouTube. He has returned. Thank you, Mark, very much for coming back to us. And by Jack tonight. Jack Furlong, right?
That's right. How you doing?
You have a show here, right?
I do. Tomorrow at noon.
And it is called?
It's called The Strike Zone.
And
we're a sports show. And then we got a special Star Wars show tomorrow night.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah.
What's that going to be all about?
We're going to just preview the upcoming movie that's coming out on Thursday, Rogue One.
Oh,
so we're giving away tickets and have a good time.
Oh, you're giving away tickets for what theater?
For AMC Hamilton.
Oh, on Sloan Avenue.
Yep.
Perfect. All right, Jack is here tonight. We are sponsored this evening by O'Connor's American Bar and Grill of East Hampton, Mount Holly, the official caterers of next Sunday's Rock on Radio Christmas Spectacular, the 8th annual Rock on Radio Christmas Spectacular. And by Miss Marianne Costello of Neos Zoe Health and Wellness Center in Cranford, New Jersey. We're coming to you live also tonight, besides here on PANJ Radio, on PANJTV.com. Right, Mark? We're up and running. We're good. Everybody, my ugly mug is in everybody's living room right now. If they're watching me, that's perfect. We did the slide in and get ready to go here. I think we got here at about 4 minutes to go before airtime. We were at a birthday dinner, Sam.
That's the life of a musician.
We were at I'm going to give you some microphone there. I'll have a party.
Good.
Have a party so you can meet Mike. We had a birthday dinner to go to and figured I'd be home in plenty of time. I was wrong.
Well, celebrating is important.
That's true. So. But we are here, and hey, Jack, can you do me a favor there, buddy, before we go any further?
Sure,
I don't have anything in my headphones. I can't hear me or Sam. Can you help me out there with that?
Give it a shot.
And if not, then that's okay, too.
Okay.
We'll go with that. Once again, this week, I have no internet on my laptop, so those of you at home that are watching this, that would be nothing that you see working, actually. Where's the camera at, Mark? Right here in front. Oh, beautiful. Gotcha. There it is. Perfect. Rock on Radio is... All right, there you go. Got it. All right. My guest tonight is from... Where are you from, Sam? Monmouth Beach? Is that where are you located?
Where am I located? Oh, well, I'm partly in New Jersey and Florida, just depending on the seasons. Sometimes.
Yeah, you're kind of doing it backwards. You're up here in the cold now, right?
Well, there's sometimes things come up and you have to go into the cold and you ask yourself why.
Right. Sam is no stranger to this program, Mr. Sam Sims. Yay, Sam. That's right.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Hi, and thanks for having me on tonight.
I'm glad you found the place. And I appreciate you making the drive. It isn't just down the parkway like in...
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. You know, I was talking to my brother on the way here for a while. It was good, and you know, it's always good to come in and chat with you.
In here. Well, and you're solo tonight. You don't have.
Yeah, I'm just doing solo. I figured it would be good just to kind of hear some of the songs in the raw as they were written, and just talk a little bit. You know, tell you what's going on if you want to know.
Actually, last time I saw you was on my birthday.
That's
right. At
the
Chowder Hut.
Yeah, thank you for coming. We had a good summer this summer. It was a busy summer. It was a hot summer.
Neat place.
Yeah, that place was cool. Yeah,
neat place.
Yeah.
If you want to give us a call tonight, you can do so at 609-460-4673. That's 609-460-4673. Again, I am your host, Danny Coleman. This is Rock on Radio. And before we continue, I want to say next Sunday we have a special 3-hour show from 7 to 10. So we start at 7, but we will go an extra hour, 7 to 10 p.m. It is the 8th annual Rock on Radio Christmas Spectacular. Scheduled to be here, I know, are Rich Shalanda and Sophia and... who else is coming by? Kevin Toft might be by. Tom Callan might be by. We have all kinds of people stopping by. It's one of those shows where I never know who's coming to see me, and so it makes for some fun. You're welcome to come by if you want to make the trip again next Sunday.
We'll see what's going on. it might be a busy day, but I will try to tune in.
Well, there will be crock-on chili here. There will be eggnog. There will be food by O'Connor's, and we have all kinds of things. I never know. I just never know. But there will be Christmas revelry
Sounds
and
like
mayhem.
you're having a lot of parties.
I do enjoy that.
Sounds good.
Correct. So if you want to follow along tonight, you could do so. Danny Coleman's Rock on Radio 2 on Facebook, facebook.com/Danny Coleman's Rock on Radio 2. Of course, we have the YouTube chat room that you guys can follow along in like you did last time. Unfortunately, until I can get internet access, I cannot chime in, but Mark will be over there if there's anything outrageous, or Jack, and he will let us know. And again, if you want to call, it's 460-4673, 609-460-4673. Now, Sam, before we get really into your music, I have a question that begs to be answered, and I'm totally serious about this. Have you ever heard of the Christmas pickle?
I really can't say I know what you're talking about.
Thank you, Sam, because I've never heard of the Christmas pickle either. Have you guys ever heard of the Christmas pickle?
I'm not allowed to know what the Christmas pickle is.
See, me either. I've been banned from that. I mean, is there...
Well, I want to know now. What is it?
Apparently, there's a Christmas pickle.
Okay.
That was at first blamed on the German nationality, but apparently that's a myth, and it's the Christmas pickle. But now it's German American. Yeah. So is that club out on Uncle Pete's Road.
Right.
So if anybody wants to call and discuss the Christmas pickle and give us your story, we'll take that too. But so what's been going on, man? You just returned from Florida.
Yeah, we got some shows coming up. We just played some this past weekend. We were playing some local shows. Last night we played in Monmouth Beach, and we have some shows coming up this coming weekend, and got a new album wrapping up. I'm excited. I get to meet with my producer this week, so
where are you
that's
doing
exciting. This one? It's been in the works for 3 years.
And
so
what studio?
it's with with my buddy Rob Lebret.
Oh, okay.
So he works with with Springsteen. So it's taken a little while. He's had some important things to do, but we're gonna be getting
Bruce
some
takes
great,
up
some
entirely too much of your time.
Well,
man.
yeah, I love his songs, and I'm super proud of Rob too. So, I'm just excited for everyone to hear the new music, really. So I can really say that's gonna happen soon. So that's the main big news.
Do we have a tentative release date, or
I'm not going to throw out any dates yet, but I'm going to say in 2017, in the earlier part.
Okay.
Of that year, of this coming year.
And will there be a CD release party for that, or?
We're talking about that right now, trying to put something together. So I'm not gonna. No details on that yet, but I'm gonna let you know. We have a original show coming up Saturday the 17th at the Caliente Cantina in Red Bank. So that's on Front Street this Saturday, and that's from 9 to 12. We got the whole band. We have Kyle on guitar, Demetris playing the percussions and singing, and then we have Aaron playing bass.
Oh, yeah, you were going to bring him with you. What happened?
Yeah.
Manzo, where are you?
He had to go. Manzo, he's so good. He's a really good writer, too. He's along with like all these great writers that are around here in this area. But I didn't know for the longest time that he wrote his own songs. But we went up to New York today, so he was a little tired, and we were up, at our gig last night. He was playing with me, and I kept him up late. So
he's got to work on his rock and roll training.
Yeah.
Make your father proud, Aaron. Come on, help me out.
He's got a busy schedule. So, but he'll be around. We're actually doing some demo recordings at his place right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well.
Pre-production, you record before you go into the studio, and then when you go into the studio, then you're extra ready. So.
You're always pretty prepared, no matter what you do. So.
I'm trying to be.
How many is this going to be, an EP or an LP?
I'm gonna do an LP for this. But then after after that this LP, it'll probably be singles or EPs. Just because of the way the music industry's been evolving.
I actually did an article for my column this past week on a young lady named Aubrey Lynn.
Okay.
She goes to a university in Montreal for music studies, and they focus mainly on jazz, but her music is anything but. It's anything from rock to like bluesy to pop. She's got a mix of things. And I asked her, I said, do you have a CD out? I can't seem to find it. She says, no, I only release singles. My producer wants me to only release singles.
Yeah.
And I often, I wonder, is that the way to go? Is that
There's
because...
pros and cons, and everyone says something different, Me, I still like records, I look at, not that I had a lot, but I do have records that I used to listen to, and I think you have the big thing to look at, and it's in CDs are great, but then we're getting away with the digital. But I think releasing a whole album, like from an artist perspective, it's so much better because someone that's a real fan wants to listen to your whole album, rather than But most people, the majority of people, will hear one song that they like. If you're just talking about music as a whole, so it's hard to draw that line, like as an artist, because I think from an artist perspective, you do want a full album. I do,
Well, I would think you would. If you're going to spend the time to go into the studio, I would think that you would want.
Yeah, but it's hard. The marketing behind it is, there's a certain amount of cost and effort that you have if you want people to hear the songs. So that's always part of it. Are you gonna make one video, or are you gonna make 10 videos? That's something like that too.
And I actually had an artist. Do you know Matt? Do you know Matt Scateri?
Yeah, I know Matt.
Matt and I have been rehearsing over the last few weeks because he's going to go down and he wants to do an album, full length.
Awesome.
And he wants me to lay down the drum tracks. Okay. And he said to me, he said, Danny, it's a concept album. I said, get out. Do you even know? I said, you're like 12. Do you even know what a concept album is, And it surprised me because, not many people realize what a concept album is these days, it's odd. So what are you doing?
I'm just doing, it's as far as my writing, just whatever. Definitely not a concept album. It's just whatever has come to me that has inspired me at the time that I am, or the place I'm at in my life, or whatever I saw that I thought was worthy enough to be in a song. That's what I'm doing, regardless of what style it is. Because I think this new song, it's got some, it's still a lot of folk rock island music, but it has some Spanish songs. We have some other types of genres. So it's just about whatever, to me, is if it's a good song that inspires you, then that's it.
I actually had I did this thing a couple weeks ago where, and thanks to my housemate, Jocko of Jocko Ranch Productions, he came up with this idea. He's like, you should have a rock on radio fire pit. So he builds this fire that the space shuttle can see in his backyard, and it was like the Yule log at Christmas, man. I went Facebook Live and focused on this fire pit, but I played indie artists. And he had the idea because one night we were sitting out back around the fire pit, and he said, what's his Facebook Live? And he decides to go live on Facebook. Yeah. And all these people start commenting, what's that music back there? What's that music back there? I like that song. What's that? And it was my iPod, which is littered with indie artists and most of the people that come on this show.
That's great.
So that's why he came up with the idea. And I said, that's like a stroke of brilliance. So we go on. We go live. That thing's got over 700 views, right? But I used one of your tunes. I used the Tequila song.
Oh, okay. All right.
And which is, of course, one of my favorites,
Okay.
Which, when you just said Spanish, I thought of
right,
that.
yeah.
You do incorporate the Latin flavor along with the trop rock flavor and some Spanish in some of your tunes.
It's hard to say where you draw that line because I mean, if you play a Hawaiian song or a blues song or a bluegrass song too, it's well, that kind of confuses the listener, but maybe, but at the same time, it's a song that inspired you. If it's a good song, I think as an artist, you want to put it. You want to at least think about recording it.
Right. That's still my favorite album. That first one.
Okay.
Of yours.
Neon Signs.
Neon
That's
Signs.
all right.
Yeah, I like that. Not that these aren't fantastic
All right,
too.
thanks. Well, I
but
hope that the new album will be your favorite because the new album Breathe is the name of it. That will be my favorite.
Breathe is going to be the title.
That's the
Oh,
title.
nice.
Yeah.
What's up with that? Why?
Well, that's the title track. The song, which I can play that song tonight for you.
Okay.
I'll do some of the new tracks if you want. Off that new album.
I want to do whatever you want to do, big guy.
That's
tell
what
me.
I want to
That's
do.
why you're here.
I'd like to play you guys a couple Christmas tunes and then maybe a few tunes off the new album.
Okay. Well, we could do that right now. Why don't we play one right now? It's 7:17. It's time for a song. What do you think? You sound good? Yeah, I thought you. If you're just tuning in, this is Rock on Radio. I am Danny Coleman. My guest is Sam Sims. And what do you want to do?
Well, I got this one. As far as we'll start with the Christmas songs, our holiday songs, whatever you guys celebrate.
Okay.
This one that we had on Hawaii 5-0, if we want to play it from the CD. But I also have this one I'd like to play for you live. So whichever you want to do first.
All right. Why don't we do
Got a live song?
the live
Or a
one
song?
because then we'll talk about Hawaii 5-0 when we come back.
So this is a song called Blue World, a few years back. All I ever really need for Christmas is a little love, peace and harmony. Yes, all I ever really need for Christmas these days is love. It's just your love. Oh, and it's a blue world we live in. It's a bright blue world. And we can deck the halls and sing again Noel. Laugh at all of the stories we can tell. And I'll be like wise men walking to the light. The last song I like to sing is Silent Night. 'Cause all I ever really need for Christmas is a little love, peace and harmony. It's all I ever really need for Christmas these days is love. It's just your love. Oh, and it's a blue world we live in. It's a bright blue world. We can deck the halls and sing again Noel. Laugh at all of the stories we can tell. And I'll be like wise men walking to the light. The last song I like to sing is Silent Night. it's a blue world we live in. It's a bright blue world. We can deck the halls and sing again, oh well. Laugh at all of the stories we can tell. And they'll be like wise men walking to the light. The last song I like to sing is Silent Night. Yeah, the last song I like to sing is Silent Night. Yes, the last song I like to sing.
Sam Sims here on Rock On Radio. Very nice. That's a new one?
Thank you. That was on this little EP called Christmas Songs. So that was one a couple years ago.
I don't remember hearing that one
yeah.
before.
So, yeah, it was a little more under the radar type of song, but you know, it's the season, so I wanted to play that.
That it is. That it is. And you said before you went to that we have the Hawaiian Christmas song.
Yes.
And it was actually on Hawaii 5-0.
Hawaii 5-0, the new series. It was on the episode called Pukana. It was December 2013, and they reran it in 2014. And hopefully, there's still people listening to it in the future.
Your Christmas tune.
Yeah, and you always hope that, in 50 years, people will still sing the songs.
Right.
So that's
to be able to have that kind of staying power.
Yeah.
Is what we were talking about. I often get into this discussion with people. To be able to have that kind of staying power is what a lot of today's music lacks.
Yeah.
And I'll get into that with you in a second, but Jack is giving me the 5-minute signal.
I got you. All right.
What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break so that we can kind of pay some homage, however you want to say it, depending whether you want to be French or not, to the rest of the station. We're going to take a quick break. This is Rock On Radio. I'm Danny Coleman. That's Sam Sims. And we'll be back in a couple minutes.
All right.
Hi, this is Jack Furlong, host of The Strike Zone here on PANJ Radio, and I'm happy to announce that I'll be hosting a very special episode on Monday, December 12th, from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, as we celebrate Star Wars and the upcoming release of the new Star Wars anthology, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. I'll be joined for a roundtable discussion by a few of my friends who are equally as nerdy as I am when it comes to our Star Wars knowledge. We'll also have some surprise guest interviews that you don't want to miss. But the best part? We'll be giving away 2 tickets to see Rogue One on Thursday, December 15th at 7 p.m. at AMC Hamilton 24. That's right, you can win 2 free tickets to the very first screening of Rogue One, a full day before it's released everywhere. You get to see the movie before all your friends. For more information, tune into The Strike Zone live here on PANJ Radio, Mondays from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern, or check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/StrikeZonePANJ Radio. Until then, may the Force be with you.
Hey, it's Danny Coleman of Rock On Radio. Just letting you know that we have the 8th annual Christmas Spectacular, the Rock On Radio Christmas Spectacular here on PANJRadio.com, 7 to 10 p.m. on December the 18th. 3 hours of indie artists live in studio where mayhem rules and Christmas is yet to come. So please tune on in. Check us out. 3 hours. I know for a fact we will have Sophia We will have Rich Shalanda. We will have a host of others coming in, stopping by to say happy holidays and Merry Christmas. December 18th, 7 to 10 p.m. Rock on.
Your business only gets one chance to make a first impression. That's why Green Birdie Productions offers free re-edits on every high-definition video we create. Our Emmy Award-winning staff and green screen special effects studio guarantee the quality we strive for. It's no wonder most of our business comes from referrals. Green Birdie Productions. Compelling video, competitive price.
Hey, I'm Deirdre Anderson with Delish Catering.
And I'm Laura Mangone from Chambers Walk Cafe and Catering.
And we'd like you to join us on Food for Thought, where what do we talk about, Laura? We talk about restaurants, we talk about
Pet
recipes,
peeves,
pet
food.
peeves, bitchy hostesses,
All sorts of food-related items.
all sorts of
Tune
food
in.
stuff, and sometimes not so much food stuff. We go off on segues, but we have a lot of fun, don't we?
Absolutely.
So join us on Food for Thought.
PANJradio.com, 1 o'clock weekdays.
Hello, welcome back to Rock on Radio. My guest tonight is Sam Sims. And Sam just played a Christmas tune for us that was called...
That was called All I Ever Need for Christmas, Blue World.
Okay, there you go. And we have, once again, next week, we have the Rock on Radio Christmas Spectacular. The 8th annual Christmas Spectacular is next Sunday night from 7 to 10 p.m. right here on PANJradio.com, and it will be broadcast on PANJTV.com. I cannot be held responsible for Sam for what goes on at these events because I'm here. I'm in this chair for 3 hours. I will not vacate.
That sounds good.
You know,
Well,
but
hopefully none of us are held responsible
Okay.
for anything like that.
so you write these Christmas tunes, and now this album that you're working on now. That's what?
It'll be the fourth album.
Fourth one.
Yeah.
And where'd you do the first three?
Well, I did actually. I mean, there's been more albums than that, but if you talk about what we've put out and marketed, I had one album first called Bluebird Avenue.
Okay.
Then I recorded that down in Alabama, and then I got the Neon Signs and Moments and Into the Blue were recorded in Asbury Park at the Lake House.
At Lake House,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And now we got, like I said, this new album with my producer Rob, and then we have some recordings that a lot of the future recordings will be done in Florida because I'm working with my publisher down there, Acoustic Soul Entertainment Group.
Okay.
And we have they're like indie label, so we have a relationship there. So a really good spot to record, partly in Miami, partly in Melbourne area.
All right. So people don't actually realize you're from Alabama.
Yeah, I'm originally, and I haven't lived there in a while, but I mean, it's a beautiful state, and I think like wherever you go is your home, as long as you feel at home.
Do you still have family there?
A little bit of family, yeah, I do, for sure. I have some family there, some on the West Coast, and my mom's coming. She's moving to Florida, actually, in the process right now, which is kind of neat.
So how'd you wind up in New Jersey?
New Jersey, I just, a lot of different reasons, started working up here, and, just made connections, and it's a beautiful place, so it was like, it's kind of like the way the wind blows sometimes.
Right. Well, and the wind blew you to a great spot for original music artists.
Yeah, and that's a lot of the reason why, this area is still a great area to be. My band's here, and I have contacts here. There's a lot of good things going on, so I think it's just important to try to be where you can be inspired and also keep connections you have. You know, we have some great events in this area all the time, like Light of Days coming up in January. We'll be playing at that event.
Are you? Where are you playing?
We'll be playing at the Asbury Hotel.
Okay.
On the 13th, and that's a whole band playing that show. And then there's some other groups playing. And then Sunday, the 15th of January, will be the songwriter acoustic thing at Langosta that afternoon. Langosta Lounge.
Langosta Lounge,
Yeah.
I actually have a gig there with Scuteri at the end of January.
Oh, nice. Okay.
You know,
I'll have to come see you guys.
It's
I'm around.
January 27th,
It's cold though, right?
7th, I believe.
27th.
Yeah, at Langosta.
It's so nice there, especially in the wintertime. It's a great place to be, the Langosta.
It's funny to look out on the ocean when there's snow all over the boardwalk.
I love it.
Excuse me. I want to backtrack just a second because there was something I wanted to ask you when we were talking about the Christmas song on Hawaii Five-0.
Oh, yeah.
For those listening at home, how did you manage to make that happen? Who did you reach out to? What was what were the channels that you went through? Yeah, because I know a lot of artists.
It's basically getting in the right networks of people. So making the networks you have to make. Aside from that, I mean, just having your music out and available. You know, I never really got a good answer on that. You know why it was. But, you know, I did get contacted through my website, you know, by the guy at CBS. So, you know, you have to think, was this real or not real? And it was real, which was really cool. So,
isn't that sad that you even have to think that?
Well, yeah, just because I mean, the music industry is such a terrible industry. There's all kinds of people trying to take advantage of people all the time, which is really sad, you know.
Yep.
And artists are just want people to hear their music, you know. So, but you have to try. I think my philosophy is that, you know, there's a lot of good, and it's so subjective, music, you know. But I just feel like I want to try to make some really good songs for people to hear, you know, that have a good message, that can hopefully help people in their lives somehow.
No, and you're right. There are a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of it is like, you know, PR and stuff. But I want to just try to get it out. You know, there's a lot of things that you can do, and it kind of becomes, well, the reason that I think you start writing songs is you enjoy the art of it, and then things can become very quickly a business with all the, I have to do social media today, and I don't have time to to work on my actually playing, which is the most important thing that you could be doing. You
to
know?
hone the craft that way. Yeah. Well, it's, I would say that that's a huge problem, balancing. It's funny because I had a guest, a friend of mine who became a friend of mine, a fellow named Joe Sarasano. And Joe used to say, he's like, you know, he says, Danny, he says, even the kid that bags my groceries has his own home recording studio now. You know, it's not like you have to go to some big major outlet or some guy who's got tens of thousands of dollars invested in his basement, you know, recording things. You can go anywhere. And, you know, it's as much as them sort of things have made music easier for a lot of us, it also has made it more difficult, because now you know, everybody has one, number one, and number two, you spend so much time behind a computer and trying to market it that way, like you said, you really don't have the time to get out there.
Yeah, I think it's making something that's different, you know, because that's always a challenge, you know, making something unique that doesn't sound like everything else, and then, you know, that's what it's all about.
Well, you know, I don't think you have to worry about that, Sam, because there aren't, I don't, off the top of my head, I can't think of any other artists who have your type of sound along the entire Jersey Shore.
Well, that's really good news.
No, I mean,
good.
Can you? I mean, seriously, is there anybody that reminds you of yourself when you go out
I
there?
don't think so.
Plays in the same style?
I don't think so.
You know, they're all a lot of the Jersey Shore artists. They all, and I call it like the doom and gloom of singer-songwriters. You know, a lot of them, they all want to save the world, or they all want to write these big emotional pieces. But you write some. That's why I like Neon Signs, because the tunes are popping and they're hopping and they're uplifting
I want something that's not too complicated to connect with people, but whatever the song calls for, you know. Sometimes I always usually say simple is better, but that doesn't mean I won't write something that's more complex if that's
but
what
you're
I'm
not going
inspired to.
you're not going to put your future on that one tune or writing songs like that. You know, people say that blues music, people who aren't well versed on blues music, you know, they think it's a slit your throat, you know, or go hang yourself in the bathroom during the band's first break type of thing, you know. When the reality is that there's a lot of really good blues music that's upbeat and
You love it. Like Stevie Ray Vaughan's a great example.
Exactly. And you know, I always hearken back to the first time that I ever saw you at Val's Tavern, when Cook and Carol used to have their open mic in Rumson. And Cook said to me, he said, "You got to see this kid, Sam Sims. He's a real deal, man. He's good stuff. You got to check him out."
Oh, that's cool.
And I actually think, which could be why I probably still like this tune, because I think that's the song that you did, was the Tequila.
Well, okay.
You know, I mean,
So
any tune that starts out with "Pour me another shot of tequila," I mean,
yeah, that's funny.
you know, you gotta like that. And you know, from there I was like, wow, I've never heard.
I thought, you know, some songs just need to be lighthearted, you know, and then there's some songs that need to be serious. You know, it just depends.
Well, you can't really tell people what to write. It's just I'm thinking to myself, what is with these young kids that are they not happy? Where does it come from, you know? If you're just tuning in, this is Rock On Radio. I am Danny Coleman here on PANJRadio.com. And next week, please tune in from 7 to 10 for the 8th annual Rock On Radio Christmas Spectacular. I thank you, Jack, for coming in tonight. Thank you, Mark, once again, for showing us up on YouTube. I'll wave to everybody there on YouTube. PANJTV.com for those of you watching at home. Got another tune for us?
Yeah. Or did you want to play
We could do that.
From
I'll do that. I'll plug my phone in here since my computer is malfunctioning.
the Christmas song, the Hawaiian Christmas song.
This is the one from Hawaii 5-0, correct?
Correct.
All right, I gotta.
We said Melikaliki Maka for Merry Christmas in Hawaiian.
Sam, I hate to do this to you, buddy, but I can't help but think every time I hear that song.
Oh, the traditional song?
The traditional one. I can't help but think of Randy Quaid in his bathrobe in Christmas Vacation.
All right, well, that's okay.
Hey, Clark! Okay.
Those are some good movies.
But that's my favorite movie of all time, Sam. So if you're ever if you're ever on a cruise ship and they have trivia questions like Dan Coleman trivia, and they ever ask what's his favorite movie of all time, you'll be able to answer that.
All right, I gotcha. I'll keep that in my memory. I'll make sure I don't forget it in my memory vault.
Hey, if you want to give us, a call, you can do so. 609-460-4673. But right now, we're going to do the Hawaiian Christmas song, courtesy of Sam Sims, and this is this on an album?
Moments.
Of yours or no? On Moments, right here in front of me, the blue one that you'll be able to see in a second.
If every day we could give like Christmas, just give out love and hope to the world. Well, underneath the mistletoe, I'll give you love and hope, and whichever way that we may go, we will sing. Hey. When it's a bright Christmas day, Melakaliki Maka. Or Melakaliki Maka. If every day we could give like Christmas, just give out love and hope to the world. Well, underneath the mistletoe, I'll give you love and hope, and whichever way that we may go, we will sing. Hey, yeah. When it's a bright Christmas day, Melakaliki Maka, we'll sing. We'll sing Melakaliki Maka. Melakaliki Maka. Well, underneath the mistletoe, I'll give you love and hope, and whichever way that we may go, we will sing. Hey, yeah. When it's a bright Christmas day, Melakaliki Maka, we'll sing. We'll sing Melakaliki Maka. Melakaliki Maka. If every day we could give like Christmas, just give out love and hope to the world.
All right, there we go. Sam Sims and the Hawaiian Christmas song, which was featured on Hawaii Five-0 in 2013, 2014. That's like so cool. Did you? I remember when you were posting that up on Facebook and
Thank
everything that happened. That was an excuse to have a party. Should have had a party.
Yeah, it sure was. I think we might have had a little get together, to celebrate, and hopefully we have some more stuff like that happen in the future, because I've been working hard on some new songs. So,
What is the Sam Sims goal?
the goal is to keep getting the music out to more people, make an impact. Like that song just said, if every day we could give like Christmas, what would the world be like? It would be different, So I think that's part of the goal. To tell people that, well, yeah, you have to survive. You have to do that, because that's our society.
Right.
But at the same time, like, why are we really here? I think the most reward you're going to get, you give a gift, you feel better than if you get a gift. So we're here to try to help other people at the same time that we help ourselves, to grow and to learn ourselves. I'm trying to learn something new every day, not just musically, but, as a whole balance, to balance life.
Well,
So the goal, yeah, I put out new music, play, keep expanding where we're going to play, where we're going to hopefully play other parts of the, other areas. I don't want to say any locations really at this time. But
is the goal live and touring, or is
live
it
touring? Yeah, we are
Okay.
looking into playing in Europe at some point over there.
Oh, nice. Any particular country?
On the
or?
West Coast too. Well, we're looking at playing in Italy and Greece and some of those places.
Dimitri have
over there.
contacts over there?
Dimitri has some contacts over there, yeah. There's some other people, but with any type of tour, there's there's a certain amount of commitment, and there's some strategy. It's not just like, hey, we're going to play, it's going to be awesome. There has to be some kind of thought, that goes into it, and we also want to get the right people to represent you, and have certain amounts of people that kind of you feel like are on your team. You have a team that you like to say that this is part of your team. Just I think you continue the strategy, and the first step is just getting at this new album out. Which we're we've been patiently waiting on and been very excited about. So, and then, trying to get published a little more,
Any more interest in movies or television?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Submissions?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So we do have some people we're some networks in the over on the LA area that trying to see what they need, see what's possible.
Okay.
So
I have we'll have to talk about that a little bit because I have a couple contacts out in LA that may or may not be able to help. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm always glad to talk about that. That's what I think, expanding networks, and really ultimately there's nothing better than to have someone tell you, hey, I listened to your songs and I'm in a better mood. I have a better day because of your album.
Right.
That's why we're doing it, That's
it's always fun. I mean, I've seen you on, like I said, I've seen you in joints, and I mean joints as small as Vows, and then I've seen you on big stages and small stages at Riverfest. Your band now. Who's besides Aaron Manzo and Dimitri and Kyle? Right now that you've been playing with those four for a couple years now.
Yeah. So we've grown as a band. We're still growing as a band, but I mean they're all phenomenal. So I'm honored to play with all of them. Aaron, like I said, he's a songwriter in his own right, and we're working on things together. Dimitri is a great percussion player and backup singer, and his energy is just right on. And Kyle's, he's a guitar prodigy, so he's a great musician. He's learned a lot at Berklee too.
Yeah, is that why he's home?
Yeah,
Is he home for the winter break now, or is that?
He'll be back. He's coming back Friday, actually. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle. Kyle's. It's funny because he's kind of bounced around. I mean, he was with Taylor for a while, Taylor Tote, and then with you, and that darn Berklee just keeps getting in the way, man.
Well, yeah, like I told him, I was like, finish your degree. It's like that's the important thing. That's you have to do that and figure out where you want to go, because as much as like everyone wants to be a rock star, that doesn't happen overnight, and you have to really put in a lot of work.
I just had this, I was having this discussion the other day with somebody. There's a level of commitment there that is unmatched, actually. If there is no, I love the people who are in this business that say, well, I'll do it part-time for now, and hopefully we'll see where that goes. If that's the case, you're always going to be playing, the local gin joint or the local bar, or you're going to be in a cover band or whatever it is you're going to do, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you really want to do this, it's got to be the priority in your life. It's got to be everything to you. You have to not only pour your heart into it, but your time, your priorities.
It's very hard to find. I think about you. Everyone looks for like a balance in their life, and you see people that they have maybe all they do is work. Maybe all they do is play. Right. But you gotta there's some kind of work-play balance. And I think it's part of refreshing yourself and revitalizing your creativity if you're a musician.
Did you ever think, Sam, what you would do if you didn't have music?
Yeah, well, I mean, my life would be totally different. I would be a different person, Right. I was thinking about that on the way over here. I wouldn't know half the people that I know.
True.
I feel that my purpose in life would be a lot different.
Exactly. I mean, there are certain things. Look at pro athletes. There are some people who, from the time, and I use like my nephew is 10. Okay. From the time he could stand and start to walk, the kid was obsessed with ice hockey. And I'm not kidding you. From the time he was a toddler, he was obsessed with ice hockey. And he's 10 years old, and he's got, he's in division playing hockey where there are kids that are older than him. the older divisions, the 11 and 12-year-olds, and he's small for his age. But he's honed his skill to the point by the age of 10 where these older teams are asking him to join them in tournaments and things. And I said, but that's because he eats, sleeps, and breathes ice hockey.
It's everything, yeah.
That's everything to him. It's all he wants to do.
Yeah, and I hear that. Yeah, I mean, you have to put in a certain amount of work and commitment. Yeah, I mean, there's no like shortcut around that, to write the songs or to get your chops and your performance and like where you want it to be. I mean, I think that you should always want to try to be refining yourself, If you are on like trying to get to that level of professionalism, if that's your goal.
If that's your goal, right? And if you're just happy playing in a local cover band or whatever, that's fine too, right?
Yeah.
But to be at the point where if it's what you want to do, I mean, we all have passion about something, whether it's reading or music or sports or our jobs, whatever they are. We all have passion. There's something that drives us outside of our 9-to-5 humdrum days or what we do.
Yeah.
But if you want to make that your living and make a difference, I really don't think that you can go at it half-heartedly or say, another opportunity will come up. I'll pass on this one.
No, you have to go in 100% for sure.
And I actually know people who have done that. Well, if it came up once, it'll happen again. Are you nuts?
I know. Yeah. You have to put yourself in a place that you're not comfortable being in and step out of your comfort zone. And that's not the easiest thing to do all the time.
I'm actually going through that myself now. After I was forced to leave my job as a UPS guy due to a back injury, I thought to myself, this is your chance. This is your chance to do something that's going to make you happy. No more going to work to support the family or to support somebody else or to do the right thing. I'm going to do this for me. When I get to this next job that I was forced to get because I could no longer do that one, I was going to do it for me. And it's not been easy. I mean, that's why this radio show was started. It's like starting over. And I was in my mid-40s when that happened. So it's, you're starting over. And as much as there are times, especially around this time of the year when, you're scraping together change to get to my YouTube show on Monday nights on the Parkway, where I think, Jesus, Danny, go out and just get a real job. And then I think, no, this is a real job.
Yeah, you're doing what you're passionate about,
right? And
you're working hard, helping people.
And
promoting indie artists,
yeah. I mean, I don't have any agenda other than to help other musicians, really. Would I love to be able to make a living at this and draw like a normal salary? Sure. But, it's been 8 years it hasn't happened, but doesn't mean I want to give it up. Because if you quit, I mean, how do I know? When I could walk out here and bop down on the street and there could be somebody saying, hey, I want to give you a real job. No. Yeah. But you never know. We have to take another break. Another quick break here and pay some bills. And we're going to be right back. Right, Jack? All right, this is Rock on Radio. I'm Danny Coleman. That over there is Sam Sims. And we'll be back shortly.
Hi, this is Judith Marchand with PANJ Radio. I'd like to invite you to listen to my new show, Musical Notes, where I will be interviewing different musicians at 8 p.m. every night. Tuesday nights I will have a new musician, and then it will air the rest of the week. We'll be finding out what these musicians are all about and listening to some of their music. So tune in It's going to be a great show on panjradio.com.
Penn East can't avoid the truth anymore, no matter what their advertising says.
The pipeline is bad for New Jersey, bad for our economy, bad for our environment.
An independent watchdog agency says there's no need for this pipeline. They called it unfair to consumers, an effort to jack up profits.
New Jersey's Department of Environmental Protection said Penn East has not provided enough information on environmental impacts, like how they would cross dozens of pristine streams without damaging water quality.
And the U.S. EPA said the project would have significant impacts, especially the risk of spreading arsenic in our drinking water.
The Penn East pipeline threatens our water and our wallets. Truth is, it's bad for everyone.
Make your voice heard today. Tell the owners of Penn East, PSEG, New Jersey Resources, and South Jersey Industries to stop the pipeline.
Go to rethinkenergynj.org to find out more. That's rethinkenergynj.org.
Hey, it's Laura Mangone from Food for Thought. Would you like us to talk about your recipes on the air? Send them to laura@chamberswalk.com and we can talk about them, give you our points of view, maybe even share some improvements. Join us, Food for Thought.
Hi, this is Jack Furlong, host of The Strike Zone here on PANJ Radio, and I'm happy to announce that I'll be hosting a very special episode on Monday, December 12th, from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, as we celebrate Star Wars and the upcoming release of the new Star Wars anthology, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. I'll be joined for a roundtable discussion by a few of my friends who are equally as nerdy as I am when it comes to our Star Wars knowledge. We'll also have some surprise guest interviews that you don't want to miss. But the best part? We'll be giving away 2 tickets to see Rogue One on Thursday, December 15th at 7 p.m. at AMC Hamilton 24. That's right, you can win 2 free tickets to the very first screening of Rogue One, a full day before it's released everywhere. You get to see the movie before all your friends. For more information, tune into The Strike Zone live here on PANJ Radio, Mondays from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern, or check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/StrikeZonePANJ Radio. Until then, may the Force be with you.
All right, there we go. Hey, it's working. There we go. Now I can hear you now, Sam.
All right.
There you go. Yeah, perfect. That's my theme song here on Rock On Radio, crafted by Charles Larita and Will Sarver of Charles Larita and the Mischief. And Charles will probably be stopping by next Sunday night on the 8th annual Rock On Radio Christmas Spectacular. Did I mention? I mentioned, right? Kevin Toff, Tom Callan. Sophia will be here, of course. Cal Schwartz is coming by. We have a whole plethora of people. Would you say I have a plethora, Jack? You think?
I'm not allowed to use the word plethora due to state law, so I'm going to go ahead and say yes and just avoid the cops.
That's one. Do you ever see Three Amigos?
A long time ago.
That's one of the funniest scenes. Right? That's one of the funniest scenes when
totally
El Guapo says, "Would you say I have a plethora?" What is a plethora?
You're making me feel old, you know that?
Hey, I am old.
We're two of a kind.
So, what's the biggest gig you've ever done there, Mr. Sam? And we're going to get to some more music.
The biggest show is probably... It's hard to say. I mean, when you say the biggest gig, I mean, if you're talking numbers of people, you know, when we play at Sandy Hook, you know, on the beach, there's about 10,000 people or so sometimes. But I mean, we did a show recently in Florida. There was probably 100 people. But it was a smaller show, and it meant like so much because everyone was listening the whole time. So, you know, it's you think, well, what's more worthwhile? Sometimes it's not always about how many people are there. I mean, the Sandy Hook concert's great. The Whalers are great when we open for the Whalers. You know,
I've been to both those shows.
We opened for Steve Forbert, Willie Nile, and some. Rob Machado.
Oh, you opened for Willie?
Willie. We opened for Willie at McLuhan Supper Club. And then Rob Machado at the Stone Pony. That was a while back. But, you know, all those shows were definitely really memorable. So, and I'm just looking forward to what we have coming up in the future. So we next biggest things with the band are we got like Saturday, we got, like I said, the show in Red Bank on the 17th at Caliente, and then we have Light of Day coming up in January, which should be really cool.
Right. Now, the Light of Day, that's every year. I remember when it first started out, it was only the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and then like Sunday afternoon or something at the Stone Pony. They had the acoustic thing. Now it's turned into a week-long celebration.
Oh, it's great. I mean, and people come over from Europe and everywhere just to go to it.
Right, and I believe the Light of Day concert series started in Europe. I think it started in London.
Yeah.
It's to benefit, for those of you who aren't familiar with Light of Day, it is to benefit Parkinson's disease research. It's truly... 8 out of the last 10 years or 7 out of the last 10 years, of course, Springsteen. Everybody buys tickets. The tickets sell out in like an hour because everybody expects Bruce to show up at the Paramount. And he's pretty much not, if he's not on tour, he's usually always there, because Joe Grishecki comes back to town and Willie Nile is usually there. And it's just a huge Southside, it's a huge Jersey Shore type of rock and roll event. And there have been some really, really powerful moments to come out of some of those concerts.
Oh, yeah.
I used to do the open mic the night before at the Wonder Bar.
Okay.
And it's really funny for those of you who aren't, you're not familiar maybe with Asbury Park. The Paramount Theater is directly, there's this block and a half in Asbury Park. It's got more music in it. You would think it's like Nashville, for God's sakes, right? You have the Paramount Theater. You have McClune Supper Club, literally, 100 feet away.
It's all right there.
Directly across the street, you have the Wonder Bar. A block down the street, you have Langosta. Across the street, you have the Stone Pony.
All kinds of stuff.
There's
Asbury Lane's right down the road.
Asbury Lane's is on the other, and Porta has music at times. It's just, there's so, and the Asbury Hotel.
Yep. Beach Bar. There's all kinds of places.
Yep. Within a span of about a 10-minute walk from start to finish, there's more music than you can shake a stick at. And it's amazing the talent in that community. The pool is very deep
absolutely.
In that talent pool. You're well respected in that community, which is
I hope so.
Which is a good thing.
I work hard.
You are. It's SamSimsMusic.com, right?
Yep.
Facebook?
Sam Sims Band.
On Facebook.
Right.
So if you want to look up Sam, you can check it out. Why don't you do another? You want to do another tune?
Yeah, well, I want to do this track from the new album called Breathe.
Okay.
It's coming out soon.
Is this its world premiere on radio?
It sure is. And
you had to think about that.
It's
okay if it's not.
As far as I know, this song is unreleased. So, I wrote this song. I was in Nicaragua, and I kind of like personified the wind a little bit. So I hope you guys like it. It's a song about relaxing a little bit and taking a breath, thinking about things. The wind was curious. Why you must be on your way? He said, what is it you got to do today that's so important you cannot stay and say hello or hello? It's been a real long time and your mind's been racing. Is it happiness you're chasing, or is it something else? Just breathe in and breathe out. Just like the ocean tide, you breathe in and breathe out. What is all this worrying about? Ooh. And I've been curious myself. I get reminded when I hear the wind crying. We've been rushing and running and fighting some even trying to step on another man. But it could be easy, could be easy. I'll get reminded when I hear the wind crying. Oh, and life is to live, and about the things that you give. And tell me, can you hear me? If you understand to breathe in and breathe out. You're just like the ocean tide. You breathe in and breathe out. What is out there worrying about? You breathe out. Just like the ocean tide. You breathe in and breathe out. What is out there worrying about? Ooh. In every breath there is a story, and you can write it any way you feel is true. Yet anywhere you go, you just remember why you do what you do. And breathe in and breathe out. You're just like the ocean that you breathe in and breathe out. What is out there is worrying about? You breathe out. Just like the ocean tide, you breathe in and breathe out. What is out there is worrying about? You breathe out. Just like the ocean tide, you breathe in and breathe out. What is out there worrying about? Ooh.
There you go, Sam Sims. Nice.
All right, thank you.
Nice new one. World premiere here on Rock On Radio.
Thanks very much. I hope you like that one. So.
Hey, you can also follow us here on, besides the Facebook page, Danny Coleman's Rock On Radio 2, you can follow us on Twitter at Rock On Radio, all one word, all caps. I'm using my phone since my laptop has betrayed me once again this week. We will have to, we'll talk to Rob, Mark, about putting an IT guy in the budget. Matter of fact, I've sent an SOS to Rob. I demand that he show up within the next half hour. Okay. I wouldn't do that. That's not my style. Yeah, Jack would. Okay. That's okay. You can do that. So when you write your stuff, anything, what do you draw from?
It just depends. You know, I think a lot of times there's forces in the universe that kind of send you song messages and things. Yeah, and there's, of course, life experiences that you go through, you know, to have something to write about. You have to tell some kind of story a lot of times. Or you just take some kind of message. And I've been co-writing some, too, you know, with some people that I know. And I think it's yeah, I always draw from nature, you know, being out and outside in some kind of natural environment. That's always inspires me. The mountains or the ocean, a lot of times, the water, the trees.
Yeah. Some people can just come in and they say life. You know, it's funny you said the universe sending you song messages, you know, and I said that to my son the other day.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but I mean, I think there's some truth, definitely some truth to it.
I said that to my son. I was like, you know, Clint, I said, just let it flow, man. Let it come to you. Let the universe do its job. He says, response to me, Dad, are you smoking weed?
That's his response. That's funny.
He's like, when did you get so mellow? Yeah, there's just some things that come to you. I've come to realize that there's so much you can control, but there's so much you can't.
Oh yeah.
You know? And you have to pick and choose what the right stuff is.
Yeah, and be flexible too, because plans change when you don't think they're going to change. So
That they do. Life throws you. I often use the analogy that life is kind of like a roller coaster. You struggle, you get up to the top, and you look around, and then woo,
yeah,
whoa, wait a minute,
time to go down there.
And you get hopefully have enough
fast.
speed to keep going up the other hill till you get back to the top. There's so many ups and downs. It's like that in music. It's like that in songwriting. It really is. It's interesting, to go that route. So, anybody I know that you're co-writing with, or are you not at liberty to say?
No, I can say. Well, most musically, I'm doing the music myself or with the band, and lyric wise, I got a friend, T. I've been writing a few lyrics with. She's down in Florida, and then aside from that, one of the songs on the new album I had a little bit of co-writing help with from my friend Matt, and but a lot of the stuff, just kind of wherever it is in the moment in time, I've been inspired and I wrote the song, and that's what I've been doing for years now. I would say, wow, I started writing songs in 1994. That's a long, for me, I'm like, wow, that's a pretty good amount of time. It's not as long as John Prine, but
20 years.
Or Leonard Cohen, but it's about 20 years. So I think, your songs get better, and that's why I'm so excited to get out some new material, because I can see all this growth that I've had, as a writer, and I want people to hear my new stuff. So,
what I like about you though, Sam, is that you're not, as much as you have a style, you don't sound the same. But
Thanks for saying that.
I know if I listen to this album, to Moments, and I listen to Neon Signs, I would be able to tell it was Sam Sims.
That's cool. That's good to know.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, when I was a kid, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, and I heard a tune, and I didn't realize that a new album had been released by a certain band, let's say, I'd say, boy, that sounds like whoever it was, the Stones or Kansas or Zeppelin, and
Yeah.
that sounds like them. I wonder. And then you listen to the tune until the end to see who it was, when the DJ would come on and say, yeah, that's a new one from, and I can do that with you. I know that this
Wow, that's cool.
is Sam Sims. You know what I mean?
That's great.
When I hear your stuff, but I also know that it
hopefully
doesn't sound the same.
That's cool. Thanks for saying that. Hopefully, most of it is enjoyable too. So I would hope.
Oh yeah.
I guess there's certain songs that are I'm sure that you like more than others, but you always hope as an artist that that people will like at least a majority of your songs on a CD. So
right. Well, that's what you're shooting for. You're shooting to get and I like the fact that you, as we talked about earlier, that you put out full lengths.
Yeah.
You don't really go the EP route.
Yeah, which maybe in the future we'll do more EPs, which seems kind of reverse, but it's just, I think it's more of a matter of, if you're getting things out to radio, like we'll have to do some AAA radio campaigns and things, and they don't want a whole album, they want 3 or 4 songs or something like that, till maybe, and if you're trying to market to people, like the attention span of people. What the A&R people? How long is their attention span? So.
Oh, that's only about 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah.
it's there are several things that I was told by program directors, because this show started on terrestrial radio. You were at the terrestrial station, I believe, way down in Burlington County, right?
Yeah.
PD's program directors, they hate shrink wrap. They don't want to have to fight to open up a disc. They hate these. It's kind of either your electronic press kit or whatever you send along with the disc to a station. It should be like a resume. It should be 1 page. Boom. I'm Sam Sims. I play music. Enjoy. You know what I mean? That's basically, they don't care what you did in 6th grade and when you started playing your first concert recital and so on and so forth. As I've heard, as I've seen, I get discs all the time. I mean, people send me, and Jocko, if he's listening at home, he'll be able to tell you, his living room has got bins of discs, of CDs piled up in it.
And sometimes it's hard to know. Like sometimes I can think, these songs are definitely the most commercial songs, but that can vary from person to person too. So
correct.
So
and you never know. But and this is a true story. It's a funny story. I was with my children. They were younger, they were like 11 and 8. They're in their 20s now. But we were in Jenks in Point Pleasant. Yeah. And at that time, the guy that owned it, he may still own it or run it, I don't know, but he was a short, little, cranky-looking older guy with a bald head. Okay. And there were several musicians there with their press kits, nice folders. And they walk up and they hand him the stuff, and he'd be like, he was kind of like Marlon Brando in The Godfather. They're like kissing his ring, you know. Yes, thank you very much. I'll be in touch. Yes, thank you very much. And I'm sitting the next booth over, and I'm watching this. So these 3 bands come out. They introduce themselves. He's like, thank you very much. I'll listen to it. I'll get back to you. They walk out. So as he's sitting there, he opens up the folders, and he opens it up. And he pulls out the CD, puts it in the player, listens, I'm not kidding you, to about 15 seconds of the tune. Takes it out. I saw him actually take one out and throw it in a garbage can right behind him.
Wow.
That was it. Done. And I thought to myself, that band's probably worked really hard on that. But he looked up and he opened it. He just kind of shook his head, put it in the player, put it back in, boom, threw it in the garbage.
Wow.
And I thought, whoa.
So a lot of times it's like, oh, if that intro's more than 11 seconds, they're like,
yep,
I can't do it.
Nope.
You know, it's like, wow, when did we start having a time on our intro? But that's that people with commercial radio and things, they want a certain.
You got to be able to nail them,
yeah,
right, just like that. They don't want to hear the big elongated piano introduction or the Space Odyssey introduction. They want to hear you, and they want to hear your music, and they want to hear it immediately. If you're just tuning in, this is Rock on Radio. I'm Danny Coleman. Thank you for tuning in on PANJTV.com. Thank you, Jack, for coming out of your house tonight on such a cold night. We're expecting snow tonight, Jack, at some point along the way here.
Well, then I better get home.
Yeah, you should probably go now. Just put it on autopilot or something.
That button's not labeled. I don't know what to do.
No, we're done. Would you walk out on me, Jack? We just met.
I would never do that.
Okay, good. Good. You know. Well, Mark's taking over. Mark is here. Mark, the engineer, giving us the lovely YouTube shots that you see at home. So please feel free to share these videos of Sam and I tonight, or go to PANJ Radio and PANJTV.com, and you can, or the radio, you can find the YouTube channel on there as well, and you can view any of the programs that we have here that Mark has engineered, and feel free to share them or watch them, increase those views. You want to hear something? I don't hear anything. Oh, whoa, there you go. See? That's why she's here, you know.
Well, thanks you for being here tonight. Thanks for hanging out with us.
That's your studio audience. What would you...
Well, I have another new song from the album, one called War Become Love. And it's kind of a reggae type song. Go ahead and play it.
Go right ahead. Sam Sims, Rock on Radio.
I sing this song so freedom, yes I said. Them evil spirits must not be fed. There's so much of this fighting in the world today. Truth is twisted into what you want to say. Love becomes war. Love becomes war. Why can't war become love? And war become love. These people, they live in these institutions. When are we gonna have our revolution? This competition and greed. Hey, why don't you believe I'm a sinner, yeah. I'm a singer, and I do what's right. We'll do what's right. Love becomes war. Love becomes war. Why can't war become love? And war become love. Can war become love? Can war become love? Love becomes war. Love becomes war. Why can't war become love? And war become love. Can war become love? War become love.
Fantastic. Nicely done. Hey, Sam Sims. That's right.
All right, thank you.
Sam Sims live in studio here on Rock On Radio on PANJradio.com and PANJTV.com. What do you think of that? What do you think of that green screen behind you, man?
I like the green. Green's one of my favorite colors.
Well, that's one of them green screens. We could probably, what do you think, Mark? Should we, like, Photoshop him in front of, like, some scene from Bora Bora or something with it? We'll put you there.
Sounds good.
This is like a weather report. You know how it's a blank screen that the weather people stand in front of?
Yeah.
Yeah, we put that back there.
It's got good acoustics there. I was standing over there, too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that's why we can actually have live bands here even. So
Right.
when you were talking about bringing a band in, I thought, okay, that'd be pretty cool. But
Yeah, maybe we'll do that next time. Let's see.
and you know there will be a next time. There's always a next. This is what now? Your third appearance on my program. Huh?
Yeah.
That's not
yeah.
bad.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for not getting tired of me.
Nah, never. You know, I started my Asbury Park, Jersey Shore career somewhere in 2005, 2006. I think it was 2005. And the very first gig I ever did in Asbury was at the Wonder Bar.
Okay.
On a Labor Day weekend. I was on a band with, or on the bill with a band called Agency.
All right.
And Status Green. I don't know if you remember those guys or not. Status Green.
Yeah.
And it was a great night. It was fantastic. And then we would gig down there. I did a gig at the Saint, did a few other things here and there. And then I started meeting more musicians by going to open mics at like Val's and at the Wonder Bar, and you know.
Yeah, there's always something to do. Pretty much every night of the week.
Every night there's music, and so it was kind of nice. But there are very few. There are a lot of really cool people I've met there, and I can honestly say, with the exception of maybe a handful, and having fingers left over, if I had to count, everybody that's ever been on this program has been exceptionally talented. I've just been very lucky that way. But there's a lot of them that are, you know, I've made some friends, I've made some enemies, and I've had some people like, hey, you know what, thanks for coming on, keep in touch. And then, you know, I don't hear from them for 3 years until, hey, I'm going to put out a CD. Hey, how you been, buddy? You know, and that's fine. I mean, you know, I'm kind of like, you know what, I'm kind of like Sam, I'm kind of like a plumber. You don't call me unless your toilet's backed up. You know what I'm saying? You don't reach out to your plumber just to say, hey, what the heck's going on, man? How you doing? You know, but and that's the funny thing in this business. You know, but there are people like you and quite a few others who do take the time to reach out or say, "Hey, Danny, what's up? Hey, you know what?"
Yeah, well, I think it's important. You know, you stay in touch with people you've made relationships with, have become friends. You know, and that's what it's important not to lose sight of that. It's about what's really important. When you're doing things.
You know, music tends to bring people together, and that's a great thing. You know, that's a really good thing. I'm going to have to get you on my YouTube show. I have a YouTube show on Monday nights on Carousel Arts. And it's strictly YouTube. It's
that would be great. When the new album comes out, we'd love that would be ideal.
Well,
I think
we could do that. We'll get you. Let me know because I've got openings in February and beyond. I believe.
All right.
So that'll be good for that. But right now, you're watching us here on PANJ TV, and we got to take another break. Right? We got to take another quick break to promote the station a little bit. And you're tuning in right now to Rock On Radio. I'm Danny Coleman. That's Sam Sims. And we'll be back shortly. Rock on. Hey, it's Danny Coleman of Rock On Radio. Just letting you know that we have the 8th annual Christmas Spectacular, the Rock On Radio Christmas Spectacular here on PANJRadio.com, 7 to 10 p.m. on December the 18th. 3 hours of indie artists live in studio where mayhem rules and Christmas is yet to come. So please tune on in. Check us out. 3 hours. I know for a fact we will have Sophia. We will have Rich Shalanda. We will have a host of others coming in, stopping by to say happy holidays and Merry Christmas. December 18th, 7 to 10 p.m. Rock on.
Your business only gets one chance to make a first impression. That's why Green Birdie Productions offers free re-edits on every high-definition video we create. Our Emmy Award-winning staff and green screen special effects studio guarantee the quality we strive for. It's no wonder most of our business comes from referrals. Green Birdie Productions. Compelling video, competitive price.
Hey, I'm Deirdre Anderson with Delish Catering.
And I'm Laura Mangone from Chambers Walk Cafe and Catering.
And we'd like you to join us on Food for Thought, where what do we talk about, Laura? We talk about restaurants, we talk about
Pet
recipes,
peeves,
pet
food.
peeves, bitchy hostesses.
All sorts of food-related items.
All sorts of
Tune
food
in.
stuff, and sometimes not so much food stuff. We go off on segues, but we have a lot of fun, don't we?
Absolutely.
So join us on Food for Thought.
PANJRadio.com, 1 o'clock weekdays.
And the sun goes down upon this river town.
Hi, this is Judith Marchand with PANJ Radio. I'd like to invite you to listen to my new show, Musical Notes, where I will be interviewing different musicians at 8 p.m. every night. Tuesday nights I will have a new musician, and then it will air the rest of the week. We'll be finding out what these musicians are all about and listening to some of their music. So tune in. It's going to be a great show on PANJRadio.com.
I love my theme music by Charles Larita. I missed you. For those of you who might have missed the very first show here, when I came over here to discuss bringing my show to this station with Rob, I called Charles and I'm like on my way out of here, and I said, Charles, I said I need a theme song by like Sunday. And I think this was on a Thursday or Friday. And he said, okay. I said, can you do that? Yeah, no problem. Will's coming over tonight. We'll get it done. Like a day and a half later, he called me. Hey, I got that theme song ready.
Awesome.
Like, cool. So, I will push anybody in that direction to check out Charles Larita and the Mischief. He's got a great video, which I'm in. For his song Ruled the World, which is like a takeoff on the old 50s horror movies. It's in black and white for the most part. It's called Ruled the World, the song. Or if you go to YouTube, you can look it up, and you'll see my mug in the newsroom as a radio broadcaster. Imagine that.
All right.
I'm typecast, Sam.
All right, I'll check it out.
All right, you want to do another tune for us live, you say?
That would be great, yeah.
All right, what do you want to do?
I have this one called Inequality. You know, it's a song, kind of a pretty song about looking at people from a more equal standpoint. So. Inequality. Do you find it hard to believe we're born the same, you see, and love is all we need? And I've tried to explain, though we're different, we're all the same. Hurting or fighting or hatred and greed, there's some things we should never concede. You know we can live as one, share the setting sun. Remember something today, there's no need to live this way. Inequality, do you find it hard to believe we're born the same, you see? Love is all we need.
Well done, Mr. Sam. Well done as usual. Sam Sims and his song called
Inequality.
Inequality. There you go. If you're just tuning in, this is Rock on Radio. I am Danny Coleman. I am your host. If you want to give us a call, 460-4673. That's 609-460-4673. Jack is lonely over there. He wants you to call up so he can answer the phone and hit the button. And once again, Jack, you have a show on this station. It is when?
My sports show is Mondays live at noon, called The Strike Zone. And then tomorrow we're doing a very special Star Wars show tomorrow night, 7 to 9 p.m. live. We'll be giving away some free tickets and having some guest interviews and stuff like that.
That's right here on PANJ Radio.
That it is.
So what kind of sports do you focus on? Or do you
right now
do you do it alone, or do you have...
I have a co-host,
okay.
My friend Kurt, who writes for CBS Sports, joins
nice.
me. And like right now, it's obviously football season, so we kind of, with the time we have, focus on that. But we also spend a lot of time on the deeper issues of sports, like sportsmanship and other types of issues that relate to sports in and out of the real world and whatnot. Just how to treat people and and how sports affects life and deeper things like that. We try and go beyond just the analytical side of the sport.
There you go. See,
Cool.
that's good. Because you can. It's funny. I could have a long discussion with you about that sort of thing.
I'm sure we will soon.
Because we may. Again, my same nephews that I mentioned earlier, I love my sister, but, those kids they're just, everything is sports. And, at such a young age to be running your child to 3, 4, 5 different sporting teams has got to be draining on a family. And I think there's a lot of pressure on kids today to do a lot of different things.
Oh, there absolutely is.
Nobody ever pressures their kid to play music.
It's sports. Sports are definitely. I think there's more pressure as far as that goes.
But there are people who pressure their children to play,
especially
an instrument,
in the Asian cultures. They're pressure. But I think there are more sports. Definitely in the United States, it's like
So, when I was fortunate enough to, I've been lucky to interview Randy Bachman of the Guess Who, Bachman Turner Overdrive, on a couple of occasions. And one of the things he said to me was he used to get suspended from school, which was pretty much his goal, because he would skip gym class. He would bring his guitar to school, skip gym class, and go hide in the bushes and play his guitar during gym class because he hated his gym class. And he said he would get caught and he would get suspended, and he'd get in trouble at home and the whole thing. But, you don't see kids doing that today, Not that I encourage children to skip class or skip school, but you don't see that drive. A lot of people's idea of music is what they can create on their phone with GarageBand app or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's the good thing about songwriters, keeping it real, because you're showing people that, hey, this is real music that you can create. You don't have to rely on nothing against electronic music, but you can do this yourself without having to you use a computer to create it for you, and it's more real that way.
Yeah, exactly. But then again, and I see, by the way, on your disc here, I didn't realize this. I don't know how I missed this before, Sam. That this one that you did at Lake House with Moments with Greg Smith, John Liedersdorf. I guess John played drums, or?
Yeah, we had Rob was on that album. That album was going back for that was about 2011 when that album came out.
But I didn't see that Matt Wade was on this.
Yeah, Matt Wade did a couple things. I haven't seen him in a while, but he played on a couple albums that I had in the past.
I haven't seen Matt in a while either. Has he been that busy? I know he was going out on a little tour he was doing.
Yeah, I know he's been working. Like I said, I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while either.
Great B3 player, Matt Wade.
Amazing player. Yeah, good guy.
And a band he puts together. I saw him at Riverfest, and it was him and a drummer, and it was either a bass player.
Yeah, the bass player.
And no guitarist.
And they didn't need it.
Yeah, they were phenomenal. Wow. But I know Matt's super talented anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been fortunate enough to jam with him a couple times, and he's been on this program. So, great. There was one off of Moments that you wanted to play as well?
Make Me a Satellite, because that was a song that it still kind of resonates with me.
Okay.
And even though, some of these songs are older now at this point, but that's definitely one of the ones I still like to play. And we had a video for that come out recently. So tell everyone, if you're on the YouTube, if you want to subscribe, Sam Sims Band on YouTube. We're trying to get some more subscribers. So
get up to that magic number so you get your own URL.
That'd be nice. Well, whatever it is, it's just getting more people to, when we have a new video come out, so they'll see it. People that are interested, that, please just subscribe at Sam Sims Band on YouTube.
Okay, well, we're going to do one off of Sam's CD, Moments, and it is called Make Me a Satellite. So we'll play that for you in a second here, right now on Rock On Radio. Yep. Where'd you go, Sam? We got nothing. I got nothing. Why do I have nothing?
looking down. Said maybe someday you'll be found. Someday, somewhere out of bounds. Feeling the wind under my clothes, feeling the sand under my toes. Would you make me a satellite? Would you give me some wings tonight? 'Cause oh, yeah, I could do. Sometimes oh, I can do. Just think of my way back home to you. Feeling the wind under my clothes, feeling the sand under my toes. Would you make me a satellite? Would you give me some wings tonight? 'Cause all that I could do. Sometimes all I can do. Sometimes all I can do. Just think of my way back home to you.
There we go. Sam Sims off of Moments. Make Me a Satellite. Nice tune.
Thank you very much.
Nice tune.
Thank you.
All your tunes are neat, man. I like your tunes a lot.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you.
Again, if you're just joining me, my guest is Sam Sims. Sam's has been making a splash along the Jersey Shore. I'm the punster. Sam, contain yourself, studio audience and engineers. Sam has been a fixture along Jersey Shore for quite a long time, and he's hooked up with some really great musicians. Dimitri, Aaron, Kyle, and your band is great. If you get a chance, get out and see Sam Sims, or check out his site, samsimsmusic.com, Facebook, Sam Sims Band, Twitter, Sam Sims Band.
Yeah. All the social media is just Sam Sims Band.
Okay. And if you get the chance, check him out. Not only is he a good guy, but he's a great performer, writes some really good music. My iPod is littered with Sam Sims.
Thank you.
You have to know that.
I'm honored.
And next week, again, we have the 8th Annual Rock on Radio Christmas Spectacular, catered once again by O'Connor's American Bar and Grill of East Hampton, Mount Holly. Rob is here. What did we tell him we were going to do that we needed? We were going to make sure that he does. Well, I forget.
Right?
Beginning of the show, yeah, we needed something.
I think he was going to get rid of all the bugs and the mice in the studio.
I
think that's
correct.
what it was, right?
Yes, we need an exterminator. Can you please handle that?
We might need a plumber too. Let me call my plumber.
The plumber. Call your plumber.
We're bringing the plumber back.
If you're just tuning in, my guest is Sam Sims, and Mr. Rob Bell has joined us, the owner of the facility of PANJ Radio. How was your event? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it indifferent? He's coming over. Go ahead.
Well, you have to be able to hear me, right? It was fabulous, man. I had a great time. J.B. Klein was performing over there with Lori Vosberg.
Oh, Lori was there.
Yeah,
519 South. Nice.
Yeah, it was a fundraiser for the Splash Steamboat here in Lambertville. That quasi steamboat. It's not a real steamboat. It's kind of a little.
Oh, the one down there. Yes.
Yeah, they teach kids, and stuff.
Right.
So it was an awesome time. But I didn't want to miss the end of your show, man.
Oh.
I was listening to you all the way back.
Oh, good. Well, we appreciate you being here. I didn't say anything about him, did I, Jack?
I
was listening to us? Well, good.
I was not here. I was never here.
Yeah. All right. So one more time, what's coming up for you? You have the Light of Day. You have
Got Saturday, the 17th of this month. We're playing
in Red
a
Bank.
full band show. Red Bank.
Front Street.
Yeah.
Oh, that's full band.
Full
That's
band.
cool.
Yeah.
Caliente.
Caliente Cantina. Yeah.
Caliente
This Saturday coming up.
Cantina. So.
And like today, we got new music coming. I'd like to do a song from the new album. I used to sail a lot, so I got a song called Trade Winds.
Well, you go right ahead.
It's a song that's inspired from some things my dad told me. So
about
sitting back and relaxing when the waves get big, or when when things get hard. So sometimes you gotta let the trade winds blow. As we finally slowed down, we started to think. We said maybe there might be a way that we could give to all the people something they might need. There's all of the suffering in my heart, it's been bleeding for love, yet there is hate. But for love you don't hate, don't judge me now. He said life is funny sometimes, we don't really know. Just sit back and relax and let the trade winds blow. He said life is funny, be kind, we don't really know. Just sit back and relax and let the trade winds blow. So if you ever stop to wonder, just where we've been going, and I can feel it in the wind now, we've got to sail on. Man, we can be like new magicians and wave our boots on. I can feel it in the wind now, it's been crying out for love, yet there is hate. But for love you don't hate, don't judge me now. He say life is funny sometimes, we don't really know. Just sit back and relax and let the trade winds blow. He said life is funny, be kind, we don't really know. Just sit back and relax and let the trade winds blow. Yes, for love, but there is hate. So for love you don't hate, don't judge me now. He say life is funny sometimes, we don't really know. Just sit back and relax and let the trade winds blow. He said life is funny, be kind, we don't really know. Just sit back and relax and let the trade winds blow. He said life is funny sometimes, we don't really know. Just sit back and relax and let the trade winds blow. Just sit back and relax, let the trade winds blow.
Sam Sims here on Rock On Radio. That's right.
Thank you.
Sam is fantastic, as I like to say.
What's that?
I said fantastic.
Oh, thanks so much.
Fantastic. We got to get. We got about 9 minutes left here. If you want to give us a call, 609-460-4673. Give us a call in, and is that Judith? Oh, Judith hiding back there. So give us a call and come on in to the show. Why not? You got 9 minutes to go.
I just want to thank whoever was listening tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in to listen to these
on
songs.
YouTube.
Thank you guys for having me.
Today. Anytime, Sam. You know that. You know that we kind of put this off because we were waiting for the disc to get closer, and then we just finally said that.
Yeah. Got to tell you what's going on. Get some updates.
Well, and you played off the forthcoming disc tonight. You played what?
We did a bunch of new songs. I played Breathe, War Become Love, Inequality, and Trade Winds.
Right. So if you're watching this at home on a replay here on PANJTV.com, remember that there will be those songs that you heard tonight that he just said will be on his forthcoming CD, full-length CD, which is due out early 2017, and it is called
Breathe.
There you go. I know. I was going to say that.
So we all have to do to stay alive, right?
That's correct. Inhale, exhale. I've got about 7 minutes left. You want to do one more, Sam, and then we'll wrap it up, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I can do one more.
You want me to play one off the? So what would you like to do?
I would like to play you a live one if you want. I had a song I liked a lot. This one's called Open Roads, and it was one off the last album. It's just a song about wherever you're going, you're visualizing what your life to be and staying positive, not listening to the negative things people might say. So. Don't need to hear your negative opinions. Don't need to hear your negative lie. I can't see nothing but the open road. I can't see nothing but the crossroad, the moon, and these signs. The simple things we need to have. I've never wanted your love so bad, but I can feel the bright blue sky. The morning sun gives a lonesome cry, and she starts to fly down waiting for me. Don't need to hear your negative opinion. Don't need to hear your negative lie. I can't say nothing but the open road. I can't see nothing but the crossroad, the moon, and these signs. What's in your mind is what you become. Sometimes there really ain't no place to run. I get some wine, maybe a beer. I really like it in this time of year, and I love to lie down watching the stars. Don't need to hear your negative opinions. Don't need to hear your negative lie. I can't see nothing but the open road. Can't see nothing but the crossroad, the moon, and these signs. There's simple thing we need to have. I never wanted your love so bad, but I can feel the bright blue sky. The morning sun gives a lonesome cry, and she starts to lie down waiting for me. Don't need to hear your negative opinion. Don't need to hear your negative lie. I can't see nothing but the open road. Can't see nothing but the crossroad, the moon, and these signs.
Hey, Sam Sims. Well, we've got about 3 minutes 3 minutes left before we have to wrap up, and Judith is here. Judith Marchand. Judith has a show. Judith, go over and see Jack there for a second, will you? So we're all about cross promotion here on Rock On Radio. And Judith has a show on here on PANJ, which airs every night except Sundays now, right?
Yes. Thanks to you.
Yeah, thanks to me. I know.
Every other night at 8 p.m.
And you have a show that is called
Musical Notes.
And you are the host.
That's
yes?
me. Yes.
You are the hostess.
And I interview bands and musicians, kind of like you, but different.
Kind of like me, but different. Yeah, that's right.
Well, I mean, you're not quite as cute as I am, but
I know,
close.
you're better looking.
Yeah. Anyway, the music was beautiful. Thank you. Yeah,
Thanks.
really enjoyed it.
And you're here every night of the week, right? 8 o'clock?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. So tune into that. Musical Notes here on PANJradio.com. And we're going to wrap it up, actually, right now. We got about 2 minutes. And, Jack, again, your show is called
The Strike Zone.
The Strike Zone. And that's here what night?
That's Mondays afternoons at 12 o'clock.
Monday afternoons at 12 o'clock. And you got a big Star Wars episode coming up.
Tomorrow night, 7 to 9. Giving away tickets.
Movie tickets?
Yep.
All right. Great. And Sam Sims Music.
SamSimsMusic.com. Yeah, thank you guys.
And you got Light of Day and Caliente
on Saturday.
On Saturday in Red Bank, Front Street in Red Bank. Next Saturday or next Sunday, I'm sorry, we have the Rock On Radio 8th Annual Christmas Spectacular, which you are all invited to. Please feel free to come on out. And please, all of you at home, listen. I need you to listen. Or watch, as it will be. You know, it's rare that you get to watch the mayhem that is the Rock On Radio Christmas Spectacular, organized chaos, as it's so been called. There will be bells, there will be sleigh bells, there will be Santa Ray is supposed to stop by.
Sounds like a fun time.
It should be. Santa usually comes in his full Santa regalia. There's a very scary picture of me on Facebook of me on Santa's lap, which tends to get published sometime, as he likes to embarrass the heck out of me every time at this time of year. I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you, Rob, for allowing me to broadcast here from this fine station. Tune in to shows like Jack's and Judith's. And Rob, you do a thing here. Well, you're always here. So, Sam, thank you so much for making the trip, buddy.
Thank you, Danny.
I really appreciate it. Again, next Sunday, the 8th Annual Rock On Radio Christmas Spectacular. And may you all find your Christmas pickle. I have never heard of this, but apparently it's a tradition. Until next week, when the fun begins, rock on.